Good morning from Connel Ferry Station, a station I sometimes mistakenly call Connel Bridge. Just to clarify, Connel Ferry is the last station before Oban. The station was built with an island platform. The other track was to the left of this picture. The station also had a platform for a branch line to Ballachulish, which closed in the 1960s. And I can remember when the oil trains used to come here to deliver the oil. Real-time trains tell me that all the trains go from platform 1. As there isn't a sign saying this is platform 1, I don't know if it is. Do you think this is platform 1? We'll see. There's a crow just going overhead. Outside Connel Ferry Station. The width of the bridge shows that it would have carried both the main line to Oban and the branch. And this is Connel Bridge, built by the Callander Oban Railway, started in 1890 and finished in 1901. Originally to take the railway from Connel Ferry to Ballachulish. When built, it was the second largest span after the fourth bridge, and it cost £43,000, a bargain. It had to have such a large span because of the currents caused at the Falls of Lora, where Loch Etive enters the sea, the Atlantic Ocean, and the currents are caused because there can be a difference in level, and sometimes the water is travelling at 10 to 12 knots. And for that reason the engineers decided they could only build a bridge if its piers were on either side of the river on firm rock rather than in the middle. The line was originally built with a single track railway across it and an asphalt footpath along the side, but for a long time the railway company made it very difficult for people to walk across or take their cars across once car traffic had become common. Nowadays you can walk across or drive across, and I'm soon going to walk across, so stay tuned for some pictures of that. And behind me you can see the open sea, taken from the same angle as the previous shot, and you might be able to make out the Isle of Mull, and if we scan round you can see the Connel Bridge and some hills in the background. And there's a path from the station to the hotel, which makes going for a quick pint between trains when you had a connection easy. And there's the hotel just there, amazing. The Falls of Lora Hotel, where I have spent the night once, and on Saturday evenings apparently when people were changing trains at Connel Ferry to get over the water there, they would nip in here for a pint or two, and the guard of the last train to Ballachulish would have to come and round them up. Well, having driven over the bridge and parked, I'm now going to walk over the bridge, so hopefully the tide will be interesting. Mustn't get carried away with the views from the bridge, which are amazing, because you can see Ben Cruachan as well as Loch Etive. The traffic's coming the other way now. There's always a gap because of the lights between the cars, which is quite good if you want to take a nice photo without too much traffic. I think that car took a chance and went through on the amber. Anyway, cyclists dismount. A relatively new pedestrian and cycle path. And there you get a good view of the Falls of Lora, and you can understand now why the 19th century engineers took one look at that and thought, goodness me, we need to build a sturdy bridge. They spent 43,000 on this bridge. I think today it would cost 43 million. Over budget and late, like all engineering projects these days. And through the bridge in that direction you get nice views of Mull. The Callander Oban Railway didn't want people to walk across the bridge free of charge, so sometimes there was a toll system where you could walk across if you paid the equivalent of the train fare. Argyll County Council negotiated several times to pay an annual fee to allow people to walk across. The railway company were always greedy and wanted more than the county council could afford to pay. Similar to modern day train companies, I guess, only there for the money. And there are numerous stories about how awkward the train company were. For example, they did on occasion allow a funeral cortege to walk across, but they insisted that the coffin went by train and charged as freight. Personally, I'd have said, over my dead body. The line eventually closed in the 1960s, and there was much local jubilation when the line closed. They knew that the Scottish Office, as the Scottish Government was called in those days, would take over the bridge and convert it into a road. navigation lights. And the height of the span does of course enable fishing boats to come into Loch Etive. Thanks to Dr. Beeching, I've now been able to walk across the bridge completely free of charge. The line to Ballachulish was never particularly busy. The largest single volume of passengers were school children going to Oban High School. There's the falls the other side of the bridge. I'm just doing this between cars. Thank goodness for the traffic lights. Much of the line northwards from North Connell to Ballachulish has been converted into a cycleway and footpath. And this is the site of Benderloch station, and unless I'm mistaken that looks like a railway company gate which is now used to support an advert for the cafe and bookshop. That looks like the site of the goods bay, I think, with a little goods platform there. And it's my plan to cycle along this cycle track later this year, taking pictures of whatever's left of it. So subscribe to my channel and you may see it. Thanks for watching, and if you'd like to buy me a coffee as a reward for making these lovely films, please see the link here to Ko-fi. I'd also like to take this opportunity of thanking some of my donors shown here on this slide. Thank you very much.